Hey guys, the clip you're about to see is one of our coaches. His name is Nick, answering a question that came in from a student, and it was, what are some other unique ways that has worked for you that I can use to sell more books? And then Nick shares a really interesting story of a time when he used this guerrilla marketing tactic that he shares to sell hundreds and maybe even thousands of units of a certain product. So really excited for him to share this with you. It's really awesome. It's something you could use to promote your book, sell more books, make more money. So enjoy.
Sarah K says, I'm on week 4 and I am just about to launch my Facebook group and email list. I know we're meant to promote our lead magnet in the Facebook group as well as in our actual book. I'm curious though, if you recommend any other ways of getting the lead magnet out there to attract more potential customers for the book launch. All right, so I guess stepping one step back is, the putting it in the book and the Facebook group, right? Those are the first priorities for sure. I've known some other students. Typically, that's kind of where I start with my lead magnets. Is I'll have it in the book, I have it in the Facebook group, and that's pretty much it. Because there's plenty of other stuff to do, but that doesn't mean that's the only place to do it. I've seen other students very successful, actually, reaching out to other Facebook groups in their niche, reaching out to the admins and the owners of those groups, saying, "I've got this thing." Okay, and I think it would really benefit your audience. And some people will say no.
Yeah.
Right. But some of them have said, yes, absolutely. Please share that with my group. They've shared it with their group. They've been able to build their email list with it. They've already, and they're marketing, guerrilla marketing, right, to the people that are most likely to buy their book.
Yep.
Right. So yes, there's definitely other places to use your lead magnet. Some people do blog posts, right? And like at the beginning or the end of the blog post, they have the lead magnet. Like, hey, by the way, if you want this thing, and that lead magnet used to have a hook in it, just like the title of your book. All right, come grab this thing. Here's the link. Right, Nick, what do you got to add to
that? You stole my answer. No, but like literally, I think that's. I love the fact that you mentioned guerrilla marketing because I'm all about guerrilla marketing. And I made a post. I think we could probably do a whole theme show around this, but like I'll sum it up real quick and just be super fast with this. So I made a post probably almost a year ago at this point, about this kind of topic, like getting lead magnets out there, getting your book out there, connecting with people, finding customers, blah, blah, blah. It's a little hard right now because of the illness and limitations on actual in-person shopping and whatnot, depending on where you live, of course. But there are so many cool ways that you can go about this outside of the online world. Because I think as online entrepreneurs, we forget that we're actually dealing with real humans, not just ones and zeros on computers, right? But like, here's a great idea, run with it, enjoy it if you want, but like make a QR code that will link when somebody clicks on their smartphone, to your active campaign landing page where people can sign up for your email list. Put it on like a little business card, and on the business card, have a picture of your lead magnet and like, maybe a little bit about yourself, like on the back or whatever else, like, hey, if you want this cool lead magnet, use this code. It'll take you, put in your email, you'll get my free thing. And then print off like 500 or 1,000 of these business cards, have them with you, hand them out to people when you're talking. Like if people are like, oh, hey, what do you do? I'm starting this new business. I'm an author, blah, blah, blah. Here's my card, whatever. Go to your local Barnes and Noble, go to the section that your book exists in, put those cards in the books.
That is genius.
It works.
That is genius. I've never thought to do that ever.
Don't let the staff catch you because they don't really like it. I mean, it's not like it's against the law, but like it's a little, it's punk rock, man. And
it's
again,
punk rock. I like that.
Right? Like this is the world I come from. Like I come from rock and roll and punk bands and DIY, and like back in the day, MySpace, we had street teams. And I actually did this with an album. I don't think it was my very first band. I think it was like my third band, but like we had this album. Nobody was interested in picking us up. Nobody would give us radio play. I was just like, well, I don't know what we're going to do. And I had a buddy who was a filmmaker and a genius guerrilla marketer. And he came up with an idea like this. Except what we did at the time, if you remember way back in the day, which was a Thursday, by the way, in case anyone was playing along at home.
I was taking notes.
Yeah. So he had this genius idea of let's do these business cards, but instead we're going to use the Starbucks logo and their coloring and their da-da-da, and we're going to do the iTunes giveaway of the week. and we made these cards look identical to the way Starbucks cards looked, because back in the day they used to have on their counter when you'd check out these little cards and you could download whatever the song was or the album that was playing in the store. So we printed up Jesus, I think 3,000, maybe more. And then we made a week. Well, it was maybe 5 days, but we traveled from Windsor all the way up to Toronto. This is in Ontario. So it's like a 4-hour drive. And every time there was like a little city or a little town or whatever, like we mapped it out. We had all the Starbucks that we knew of. And we went to all those Starbucks over the course of like the next 5 days. And we left like 30 of these cards in each of these little holders.
My gosh, I love it.
We got an email, of course, from Starbucks corporate about a month later going, hey, this is brilliant marketing, stop it. But we gave away 1,500 or 2,000 like downloads, and we earned like, you know, a couple, like hundreds of new fans, and then that resulted in a bunch of sales of our album and merch and bookings for shows and da 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 da. So you can do the same kind of stuff with books. Just get creative, have some fun. You know, put your book, I don't know if everybody has this in their town, but in Calgary, it's a really big, in the neighborhoods, they'll put up like a post with like a mailbox or like a bird feeder almost, but it's
take a book, leave a book.
Yeah. Get author copies of your books, go put it in there with contact information about how to, you know, like say, hey, I'm a local author, blah, blah, blah. You know, tons of fun ideas.
I love the card inside of other books in your niche. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and put that QR code, put it everywhere, right? Under your email signature block, put it in your Facebook feeds, and make sure, I mean, obviously in the Facebook group, just put it everywhere so people can see it. Because again, the more active you are in your group, the more active you are with just networking with people, period, the more often they're going to see that.
Yep. And that gets back to Ollie's thing, like be emailing your list every day. The more you're in their face, the more they see you, just the more top of mind. Like you never know how often somebody's going to have a conversation of like, blah, 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 blah. I have this niche need. Oh, hey, my buddy, or because everybody's going to say their friend, my friend so-and-so writes books in that. You should look him up. What's his name or what's his website? And then they get home and forward the Facebook group or whatever, you know? Yeah, it's fantastic how networking really starts to work for you if you put in that work and are available for people, and don't be scared of it is my point.
For sure.
Nice. I think we crushed that one.
All right.
Next one. Oh, that was the end of our questions.